let's zoom in first on energy, particularly this whole discussion about shift to renewables, and there's been banks have been saying that no more coal. I mean, all these talks about renewable energy, and even executives going as far as saying that the market demands it. So where does Shell fit in this whole narrative, in this conversation of a sustainable future, and more more renewable energy in portfolios?
Yeah, so we will be providing more and cleaner energy solutions. Uh, I think yes, you mentioned the world needs action to reduce carbon emissions and keep global temperatures to below 1.5 degrees Celsius, and that is one of the main goals of the Paris Agreement on climate change. Um, and that means that our strategy also aims to transition our business to net zero emissions, but that's in step with society. So we are a global company that operates in around 90 countries, and the pace of change, for example, in Europe or the UK. As a country will not be the same as the pace of change in the Philippines. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this purposefully and profitably. We have been a partner in nation building for 108 years in the Philippines, and we support the government underpinned energy transition agenda. So how are we going to do this? One, we're going to do this through reduction of our own absolute operational emissions. And we are looking at this through the green offices. So a lot of our real estate and offices that we work in are actually using solar energy to power the office. We're also looking at reduction of waste, how we conserve water, and even food waste in that sense. Uh, we have also moved into renewable energy, powering our import terminal and our mobility sites. So our import terminal, for example, in Tabangao, I mean, we transformed it from a refinery to an import terminal. That's powered 100% by renewable energy. And if you look at our mobility sites, so what you would refer to before as petrol stations or retail petrol stations, we have over 1,100, and over 100 of those also are powered through solar. Um, and we also have sites for the future. So we have four. I mean, the first one's in Silang, Cavite. The other one is in Mahogany in Tagaytay. The third one is in Mandaue. And these sites are, I mean, we use eco bricks for this. Eco bricks would be, you use laminated plastics. So laminated plastics could include the containers of our lubricants bottles, the cards of our fleet cards. So you shred that, you mix that with cement, and you produce three types of bricks, which you could use as buildings or as pavements or as walls. We use that. We have rain catchers. There as well, so that we could recycle rainwater. And we've also had a change in terms of our supply chain model, and that change has resulted to lower carbon emissions. So that's the first thing we're doing, reducing absolute operational emissions. The second thing we're doing is reducing emissions from the products we sell. So we are looking at low carbon products. If you look at lubricants, you have Shell Helix Zero W that is produced on a carbon neutral level in terms of emissions. We also have Bitufresh, so that one is what you use for paving. So Bitufresh actually has 40% less emissions, and as I say, it smells better as well. It smells like detergent. So we are continuing to expand and evolve our products. Recently, when it comes to low carbon services, then recently we have opened our first electronic vehicle charging facility. So this is in Mamplasan. Uh, two two charging stations, and basically it is an ultra fast charger. 30 minutes. You might not. I think you might think, oh, 30 minutes is a long time, but if you compare it with other chargers that we have in the Philippines, which could take 9 to 11 hours, 30 minutes sounds quite fast. So we're also involved in the future of electric mobility. Um, In terms of the approach, so when you're looking at emissions, you're looking at avoiding emissions, reducing emissions, and for areas that are harder to reduce at this time, or where you have residual emissions, then one of the options is carbon offsets. And we are doing that. So we've offered that to B2B customers and recently to B2C customers as well. So that is another offering. Probably one which you could say is low or no carbon would be non-fuels retailing. So you will see the convenience stores that we have in some of the sites, and you also on some of the sites you will have change oil facilities, car wash facilities. We also have mobility sites that are biker friendly. So it really means we are providing rest spaces and facilities for bikers to rest. We have a power trading business in the Philippines. I think not many may know about that. At the same time, we have also entered the renewable energy generation space. So we recently announced our partnership with Emerging Power Incorporated to look at onshore solar, wind, and battery storage facilities as well.